Where do you see future potential if you're talking about meetings industry?
The future potential is, first of all, getting to understand the difference between tourism and meeting industry. Because the meeting industry is about transferring knowledge, not filling hotel beds. And if you as a politician don't understand this, nothing will happen. But when the day comes that many cities around the world, like Vienna, like Singapore, like Seoul, and like Stockholm in Sweden, to understand how to connect triple helix, the society, the universities, and the politicians. The big change that we are looking at right now is that we don't talk to the government, we don't talk to the parliament, we talk to the mayors in the cities. It's the politicians in the cities that is the most important politicians, because they are easier to get them to understand the importance of the meeting industry than the politicians in the parliament, because they don't care. They are still talking about tourism.
Where do you see Slovenia as a destination for MICE industry?
It's a young and a couple of years ago, maybe it's 5 years ago when we met you the first time, and my wife, who's the editor-in-chief of our magazine, Atti Soenarso, looked into this stand saying, wow, look at this, they are only young people. All of them are young, 30 years old, and the rest of the industry is old as I am. And the big difference being young in a relatively young industry is you have nothing in your rucksack. You have nothing to carry. You can start from zero, and you can very fast understand what this industry is all about.
Where do you see Slovenia in the region of Southeast Europe?
I see it as a
rising star?
Definitely a rising star. It has been the convention bureau with Miha is a rising star in my eyes, because he understands how to connect people. He understands the most important things. You have to talk to the professors at the university. You have to change the fact that we earlier didn't really understand how we are developing individuals, we are developing organizations, we are developing societies, universities, and the whole society with using the meeting industry in a professional way.
How understand meetings industry in your country, in Sweden?
I've been working for the last almost 10 years with developing new convention bureaus. We had 3 convention bureaus when I started. Now we have 23 convention bureaus.
Wow.
You should have, as I see it, not everybody agrees with me, of course, but if you have a university, you have to have a convention bureau, because the people, the professors, the researchers, and all these people on the universities doesn't really understand how to raise their hand saying, I want the meeting to come to me. But they always want to go abroad, going anywhere else to participate as a delegate. Then they have to understand that to bring the knowledge to your city, to your country, you have to have the meeting in your country and in your city, because then a couple of hundreds of your citizens can join instead of one going away to Japan. That's the big difference.
Where do you see sweet niche stories in MICE industry?
I got a very good story. I'm doing a special little magazine for a special little university in Sweden called Skövde. They got a professor, a Chinese professor in robotics, and he was actually living in Canada after leaving China. He came as a visitor to Skövde, which is in the middle of nowhere in Sweden. But he find that in Sweden, you can walk all over in the woods. You are allowed to walk everywhere. And he came here, said, I want to stay here. Is it possible for me to become a professor at this university? And his colleague who had invited him as a speaker said, I'll check with my boss. And they fixed it. So he started the #1 man in robotics of any university in the world. He is even the editor of the robotics magazine. Came there, stayed there, took his family there. This is the meeting industry as I see it, in a small funny way of telling the story. I've been working in this business for 30 years as a journalist, and I think it's more funnier every year because I love it, because I have to meet a lot of people, like people around here. and giving me new ideas. We create new products. I have seen this industry coming from nothing to what it is today, and maybe it's 30 more years before it's really has happened, and I will not be along with the rest of the industry. But understanding the meeting industry is understanding a funny industry, and lots of people I meet say this is the best I've ever done in my life. Reinventing knowledge and moving it to people, understanding that you have to bring knowledge, like in Dubai. Dubai didn't even exist 20 years ago, more than something in the sand. Today it's a melt pot. There are 200 people from 200 countries living there. They are just 2.2 million. They got 96,000 students at the 6 universities, and they really understand the importance of bringing knowledge to Dubai, to develop the individuals staying there, and then they develop the society.
We would like to cordially invite you to Conventa, the European trade show for meetings, events and incentives, which will be held on the 21st and 22nd of January in Ljubljana. For more information, please click the link below.